Hello, Rita Wild. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for another episode
of Rock and Roll Confessional. CW.
Rita.
What makes a rock and roll vocalist great? Is it the range of voice, the distinct resonations, unique styling, or just something that sounds great to the listener? When people are asked who are the top 5 rock vocalists of all time, the names on the list are varied, but some familiar names are always there, like Roger Daltrey, Robert Plant, Chris Cornell, and Ronnie James Dio. Another name frequently on the list is Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Glenn Hughes, who sang with Deep Purple, Trapeze, and Black Sabbath.
Next month, he is kicking off a new European tour in honor of his upcoming new solo project, Chosen. Before he embarked, we were lucky enough to speak with Glenn to find out about his upcoming adventures with the likes of Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, and Joe Bonamassa, and what it was like to play with Deep Purple at the very first Cal Jam Festival in Ontario, California. So here we go with our interview with the very one and only Glenn Hughes.
Well, hello, Glenn Hughes. How are you?
Thank you. Fine, thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. I'm Rita Wild.
And I'm CW West.
Hey,
and,
how are you?
You're in the LA area, right? I think.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, we're both in Long Beach, and both of us worked at KLOS Radio for about 25 years.
Cool.
Yeah, so we know you and your music fairly well.
I'm in Palos Verdes, just up the street.
You have the new album coming out September 5th called Chosen, and it's rocking, dude. It sounds really, really good.
Thank you.
It's an amazing new album. It's been 9 years, right, since the last solo album?
Yeah. It's been 9 years. I wanted to take a bit of a break from my solo work, as the solo stuff for me is very, very personal, and I get pretty drained when I've done a solo album.
Yeah, and give us an idea of I don't like to analyze the lyrics for artists, so give us an idea of Chosen, which that's also the title track of the album, and I believe the first single. Give us an idea of what that's about.
Chosen for me, it means freedom, free from the bondage of self and free from things that don't work for me any longer. You know, I've been working a spiritual progression lifestyle for 20 years, and for me, it's all about living presently in the moment. And that song is about being free.
And it's so hard. Well, maybe for you now, it's easier to live in the moment. I know that's one of the things I'm also practicing, going to meditation and things,
right,
is how right now is so important. And, you know, what's in the past is in the past, and what's the future we have no control over. So,
right.
I love the lyrics, though, like when the daylight comes, I just want to be chosen.
Right.
When in the midnight sun, I want to be chosen. I love that. It's just so positive and life affirming.
Thank you. It's simply, it means what I'm thinking, you know, and I'm at a place in my life where everything is just peaceful and calm, you know. It's a wonderful way to survive.
The opposite of where you were 40 years ago?
No, I think I've been in this lifestyle for quite some time. The way I live, you know, or breathe is so much different to what it was in the 80s. I don't remember the 80s.
I love what you're calling it, spiritual progression.
Yeah.
When did you start, and what was the impetus for that?
Well, when I changed my lifestyle in 1991, I had to change everything, and I found myself in a different place spiritually. What was working for me in the 70s and 80s wasn't working for me in the early 90s. It was a lifestyle change completely. Everything had to change, because if it didn't, I probably would have remained in that state of non-awareness. These days, I'm very much aware of what's going on, and I'm very closer to God these days.
Do you affiliate with any religion, or is it just basically being spiritual?
It's all spiritual, no religion.
Some of the other great tracks on the album, Heal, I love that.
Thank you.
Black Cat Moan.
Yeah.
Come and Go, which is a nice different melody change there. And Into the Fade.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your band? Who's backing you on that?
Guitar player Soren Anderson. He's been with me now for 17 years. And Ash Sheehan from the Black Country in England, where I was born. He plays drums. It's a trio album, just a little bit of keyboards, but just a trio.
And you play bass, obviously.
Of course, yeah.
But it's not listed. At least I was on the promo thing that you weren't playing bass.
I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was not listed.
It's kind of funny, Rita. Like you and I, we kind of went with some opposite tracks because I love Voice in My Head and The Lost Parade, which I kind of felt like a real kind of Black Sabbath influence in that song. And I don't know if that's the way you took it or wrote it.
No, I mean, I didn't write it for that reason, but I had that riff early last year. I kept playing it thinking, well, this would be a really good heavy track, because the album, as you know, it's very varied. It's not one style. There's a bit of groove, there's a bit of soul, there's a bit of R&B, there's a bit of rock. So that's the way I like it.
Who were your R&B influences? Because you moved out here, you moved to California when you were 19, and and I know that R&B was a big influence. Who were some of those bands or some of those musicians?
Well, Stevie Wonder, who later became a close friend. Earth, Wind and Fire, who also became my friends. Al Green, Smokey Robinson, Marvin Gaye, a long list of great R&B singers.
Those are great, yeah.
The Voice in My Head song that you're talking about, that sounds really excellent. Speaking of your voice, what do you do? I mean, you have such an amazing voice, and it's, lasted your whole career, which is amazing. But what do you do specifically to make sure that it's in the best of health?
I sleep a lot. When I can get a lot of sleep, I drink a lot of water. I rest my voice. I warm the voice up. I do sound checks at full strength. I don't really think about too much how I'm going to sing. I just sing in the moment. If I start thinking about the next note, I probably have problems doing it. So for me, not thinking and walking through any kind of fear that's going down, that's really important, to not have any fear. Look, fear embraces everything. It's around us. It's always here. But for me, knowing it's there, I just smile and say, thank you, goodbye.
So you don't get stage fright anymore?
I get a little nervous. I wouldn't call it fright. I think everybody at some point has to be. I think it's quite normal to be a little nervous.
And it's acceptable. I mean, I think in the old days, we used to don't show those emotions or don't show that fear.
Right.
And now it's like, if you're in the moment, then it's just, okay, you're nervous and so be it.
Right. I think everybody has that. And right before I go on stage, I don't really go out to look at the audience. When I go in, a quick look, I'm going, okay, here we are. And I walk up to the microphone and something joyful happens to me where I'm able to become that vocal guy that
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
You kind of started out real early with Trapeze, and you had some, fairly good success. In fact, your first tour, I think you guys opened up for the Moody Blues. That must have been interesting.
Yeah, it was 1970. I was 18, and that was the key to remind myself that I was actually born in America in many lifetimes ago. So for me, it's like coming home, especially California. I love California. I've been living in California since 1974.
Wow.
Speaking of 74, you were at the Cal Jam with Deep Purple. What are your recollections of that show? Well,
we were contracted to go on at sunset in April, so that may have been 7:20 p.m. But the festival was running an hour ahead. Sabbath had just finished, and the promoter wanted us to go on, and Blackmore wasn't prepared to go on until sundown. So after 45 minutes of trying to break into his trailer, they finally basically got him to come out, and we were basically forced to go on stage. Otherwise, they said there would be a riot. Well, when we went on stage, there was a riot on stage. As you know, Richie set fire to his equipment with gasoline. and it was very dangerous.
Or did he just all of a sudden come up with a bunch of gasoline?
Happened so very quickly. No one knew about it. Nobody, he didn't tell anybody. And can you imagine how, if you look at that footage, the gasoline being ignited by a match, and then the stage catching fire, I had to jump over the monitors because I would have been burned. So it was ridiculous to do that.
God, that's crazy. I don't remember that because I was not here. I was in the Bay Area at that time. So I don't remember that show or that incident. So that's really fascinating. So did you guys continue playing, or was that like the end of it and you cut it short?
No, we played through it, and the cameras caught it all. You know, it's all on film, and you could see the tension, the aggression, and amazement from each member separately about how they were feeling. You know, it was very, very strange and weird. And dangerous, very dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
So what were you were you like pissed off that he did this, or were you like, oh, this is rock and roll?
This is rock and roll. I wasn't thinking about, I was pissed at him because it was actually in the moment. But the way he operates, you never knew what he was going to do next. But to pour a certain amount of gasoline on all the equipment and set fire to it was so, and the lights, everything could have caught fire. I mean, we could have all been killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you guys, you could have headlined, but you chose not to. You chose to go on it at Sunday.
We headlined, but we chose to go on before ELP, but we headlined that show.
Okay. Now, what was that time like for you? I mean, you know, because David Coverdale was in the band too. Your vocals and bassist. You had some tremendous hits, you know, Woman from Tokyo. What a great song, you know.
Oh, it was great. I mean, David and I came into the band. I had some kind of success with Trapeze, as you know, but David he hadn't really done anything before. He was new. So it was quite fun watching him build his status from that. It was interesting.
And I got to say, I was looking up, you know, a lot of the past band members and current band members. I just want to read off real quick, just for those that aren't familiar. We have Ian Pace, Roger Glover, Ian Gillan, John Lord, Richie Blackmore, David Coverdale, Tommy Bolin, Joe Lynn Turner, Joe Satriani. I mean, through all those years of Deep Purple, what great, fantastic musicians. And I didn't mention you because that's obvious you're already in that lineup.
No, a great bunch of guys, and of course, studious musicians, serious musicians, and a great joy to be around in that crazy period in the early 70s.
Yeah.
You mentioned you've also done some work with Tony Iommi, and obviously we're going to ask your impressions of, you know, Ozzy.
Right. Well, I mean, I've known Sabbath from the very beginning. We were from the same town in England. So we were friends in 1970, and all these years. I mean, Ozzy was my neighbor back in the UK.
Wow.
So when we lost him last week, I lost an icon, but he was my close friend. He was like, for me, a personal friend. I have a lot of history with him. We lived 10 miles from each other, and we were at each other's houses quite a lot. So for me, it was difficult because when you lose someone that's close to you, and you got all the other stuff going on, and it's just pandemonium. Really difficult.
I mean, it was, you know, beautiful that he was able to do that last show.
Really.
To let people, you know, show him and shower him with love.
Yeah, he was, you know, we see kind of crazy he was. Most of it was staged. It was because behind all of that, he was a very quiet, normal kind of guy, but he was staged to be Ozzy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
He liked being somewhat crazy. He felt it well on the TV show. It was really real. It was like kind of acting, but it wasn't. It was actually the way he was. And you know something? It was genuinely sweet. Yeah. You know, we all kind of fell for it, and we liked it, you know.
We love the guy from it, you know, from everything from eating bats to what he showed with his family on the show and up to this concert. I mean, it was really
when he did the dove in New York, when he bit the head off the dove, he came to my home the next week, and my mother and father were there, and Ozzy was serving them tea.
Tell me it wasn't dove tea.
It wasn't dove tea, but it's. I'm just saying, back in that period, that dove was put in his pocket for a reason. And, look, I'm just telling you the way it was for me being his friend. But to, have him serve my mother and father tea was beautiful.
Yeah. You guys are from the same sort of area. And
yes,
one thing I always really admired about him was his work ethic. I mean, he, the last time we saw him, it was a signing at Fingerprints Record in Long Beach. There was probably maybe 6,000 people there, and they were only scheduled for a couple of hours. But he waited till every fan got through and said hello.
Right.
You don't see that from mega superstars, and I don't think that he ever really realized how important he was.
He didn't, and look, I know the family and Sharon as well. So there's two ways to look at it. People thought it was all her overworking him, if you will, but he loved it. Unfortunately, in the last 10 years of his life, he was suffering from Parkinson's and other kinds of things, as we all know. But looking back at it now, that was real. That was really, and that's the thing that really upsets all of us, that he was that ill. And now we're realizing, well, that was for real.
And he was such a good sport about still going through it and still meeting the fans and staying so connected to his fan base that his entire time, up until his death.
He was, look, I see him quite often, and he was gentle, always asking about how I'm doing. And it's like he was a normal guy that was thrust into this Osbourne's reality show, which was painfully funny.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't really him.
Yeah. I know you've got a tour coming up for this album, the album Chosen, which comes out on September 5th. It's mostly, I think, European and South America.
Correct.
But I've heard rumors about Black Country Communion and possibly a new album and possibly a U.S. tour. Is that something being talked about?
Well, firstly, yes, I am going on the road September, October, November in Europe and South America, but I'm planning an American tour next April, so you'll see me in LA, hopefully. And Black Country Communion, we just did some shows in Europe, and we recorded those shows, and we are going to release an album next year of the live concert that we had in Europe.
Single album?
Single album, and later on next year, we're going to record album number 6 in the studio. Wow. And do a tour next summer in Europe, and hopefully we can announce in America as well.
Excellent. You have a knack for working with great guitarists. I mean, obviously you've got that with Joe Bonamassa, who is awesome. Also, California Breed that you did with Jason Bonham and Andrew Watt.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then you've got this other project with Joe Satriani and Steve Vai. I mean, wow, you're really busy.
Well, I've been around these guys. I mean, Joe and Steve have been my friends since the early 80s. Oh. And Steve gave me guitar in the 80s, which was really sweet of him. So I've known these two guys forever. And when they put the Satch Vibe band together last year, they asked me if I'd like to sing and write a song with them. And I said, of course, give me a date to be there. And I was at Steve's house in February, and we wrote that song, and it was fantastic. I love those guys.
It's called I Want to Play My Guitar.
And Kenny Aronoff is...
Oh, yeah, one of my closest friends. We love
him. Right?
We've had him on our show. We've had Joe Bonamassa on our show.
Yeah.
So there's a good family tree between us
great.
and you.
It's great. It's great. It's a great family tree.
Yeah.
You've been sober for, about 30 years now? Is that part of the spiritual?
Oh, yeah. Again, when I got sober, I changed everything. Everything had to go. I came off the road for about a year and stayed close to my friends in LA, sober friends. I moved from where I was living in the Hollywood Hills to South Bay in Palos Verdes. And I just changed everything. I had to just do everything new and find out who I really was.
And that was during, I know you recorded the Hughes Thrall, which I think still to this day is a great album.
Thank you.
I hadn't heard it in a while. And then when I saw you were coming on, I'm like, I got to listen again. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great album. But that was a really heavy time for you with drugs and or alcohol.
Yeah. Look, in my book, I spoke about, I don't remember the 1980s, not to be glitch or humorous, but that period for me was the darkest period for me. Let's just say my musicianship was getting in the way of my drinking. And, for me, it wasn't a decade that I really remember fondly. But all those things that happened to me in the 80s has obviously made me the man that I am today. I'm still here. I'm a survivor. I think I made some decent music in the 80s. I wasn't able to tour very often because I was not the man I am today.
And how did Don Dokken help you with your sobriety?
Well, Don... I'd known Don a long time as well. I met him when I was making the Sabbath album in 85, and I helped him write some stuff for an album he was making in 87, was it? Something like that. Yeah, Don's a good friend.
That's cool.
Was there an intervention, or was it just something that you woke up and realized, man, I've got to stop this?
For me?
Yes.
I had a heart attack.
Did you?
Ingesting drugs at my home at Christmas Day 1991, and that sent a serious message to my heart. And obviously I found myself in hospital. Then I found myself in Bedford a little while afterwards, and again, look, I'm grateful I had a minor heart attack rather than a large one to kill me, because it woke me up from this insane lifestyle I was living, scared me to death. And from that moment on, I've just changed everything. I only write about the human condition. All the albums I've made with Black Country Communion and the Dead Daisies and Glenn Hughes are always about spiritual condition, love, faith, fear, walking through the fear, death, happiness, joy, and all that good stuff.
It's beautiful.
Did you have any mentor that kind of helped you through all of that, or doctor? Or
I work with a fellow in Mumbai. Call him a guru if you wish. He's my mentor for the last 9 years, and we get together on Zoom, or he comes to visit me. And I've been studying this way of the Buddhism, and not religion. It's just a way of life. I like to think of myself as, if I can stay in this moment, I never think about tomorrow. I know I've got tomorrow coming up. If I can stay here talking to you and being open, I think I'm okay.
I think we need a lot more questions, though, if we're going to stay here all day and keep talking.
Oh, we can ask him. I don't know what your time frame is.
You worked with Tommy Iommi recently with Robbie Williams, who, for the U.S. who doesn't know, Robbie is a very huge megastar, I think, anywhere but the U.S. and with pop music. And I'm wondering how you got connected with him, how Tony got connected with that project. Yeah, how that all happened.
Right before I got sober in 91, I did a song, you wouldn't know about this, with a band called KLF. It's a acid house, massive underground band in England, and they had huge success. So I recorded a song with them called What Time Is Love, and it went to number one in 20 countries. And Robbie was a young boy and heard that song, and he calls me last year and said, "Hey, I'd love you to come and sing on a song on my album." I said, "Well, that's fantastic, So, and by the way, Tony's going to play guitar, so it was great."
Wow! And did you see? This is kind of a sidebar, but did you see his? I don't know what you call it, biopic.
Yeah, I did.
Better Man, which was very interesting. And Rita, this is how we get. I mentioned I have a question about a monkey. Robbie Williams plays himself in the movie, but he's CGI'd as a monkey, as a chimpanzee, as a human chimpanzee, which I read today is that he that's how he thought people saw him in life through his career. So it's a really interesting movie, by the way.
I mean, it is a great movie. And I know him personally. So for me, knowing his background, and I'm from the north of England, and he's from the same county as I am, so we're kind of neighbors. So I knew his background, and I knew his father and the way they lived together, and it's a very true story. Yeah.
That's awesome. You've done a lot. Is there anything in the future that you would love to do, or somebody that you would love to work with?
Well, I think I've worked with everybody, really. So for me, what I started doing early this year was playing with orchestras in Europe.
Wow.
With my songs, the orchestra seems to work very well. So I think towards the end of next year, I'm going to be doing more orchestra work. So I'm hoping I can bring it to America.
That's fantastic.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we have with you, Glenn, so I want to respect, but we have some questions I want to get to.
Cool.
But how are you with time?
We're good.
Okay. Now it's the fun, exciting questions, Glenn.
A few of them.
For instance, if you were writing a documentary film, what would the subject be on?
Recovery. Yeah, it's always about recovery for me, because people say, what is success to you, Glenn? It's not so much the album, the platinum albums, or the whatever I've got in material things. It's about surrendering to the fact that I needed recovery in order to become this man I am today. If I hadn't have found recovery, I would not be talking to you today. So anything to do with me, I have a book that's about kind of recovery too. So everything happens in my life because I'm recovering.
What's the name of the book?
From Deep Purple to Black Country Communion.
Okay. Got to look for that.
I have a quick follow-up. Do you resent what you went through in the 70s and 80s that got you now to this point?
No, I'll tell you why. Dangerous and really troubling. Almost kill me, physically kill me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was supposed to happen. It sounds very strange to say these things happen for a reason. Everything and everyone is my teacher. So I think what I've been through in the 70s, 80s, some great stuff, as you know, as well as weird stuff, has made me, in these 29 years of sobriety, the man I am today.
What would you say to someone who, has listened to you, just starting out? What advice would you give that person that loves rock and roll, that loves, being a part of it? What would you advise them to do?
Don't listen to people telling you what to do. If you are a genuine artist and if you're young, stay true to your art. I slept with my guitar when I was very young for a couple of years. If you're really serious about your art, please don't listen to those outside voices, the external world. Always listen to the inner childlike voice that you have inside.
Because that's honest and true.
What was your first concert you went to?
Would have been the Rolling Stones in 1964.
Wow. Where at?
In my hometown of Cannock, Cannock.
And what kind of venue? How many people was it?
I'd say 1,000 people.
Are you amazed that they still are as popular today?
I am, but I'm also very happy because they may be the last band standing. Yeah. I mean, of course, they lost Brian Jones all those years ago and Charlie. Recently. Yeah. But look, I mean, I know those fellas and they have stayed together ruthlessly, and I'm really happy for them.
That's true.
Who would you want to meet that you've never met?
Wow.
Anybody in the world?
It's a good question. I can't think right now. I can, but my brain starts thinking too many people. Yeah. I'm a soccer fanatic, so maybe a soccer player.
Oh, very good. Did you play soccer as a kid?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah. Excellent.
Glenn, thank you so much, man, for your time. Appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
Looking forward to a U.S. tour, and looking forward to your success with this new album. I really hope it does well for you.
Thank you.
It's an amazing album, great rock and roll, and a good variety of different kind of music, but it's really wonderful. So thank you.
I appreciate your concern and love for my music. It's a great opportunity for people to know that I have a new album coming. and I'm really happy about it.
Chosen
Excellent.
on September 5th. It's I think you can pre-order it via your website.
You can.
Yeah.
You can, yes.
Yeah. And I think there's a bunch of vinyl.
Yes, there is.
Different colored vinyls and things. And we'll post that on our website.
Thank you.
Can't thank you enough. Peace, blessings be with you. And
Thank you so much.
Wonderful success on the road, and get lots of sleep in.
Oh, you betcha. Thank you. I will.
Thank you so much.
Glenn, thank
Thank you, guys. Peace and love.
Wow. I really enjoyed that interview, getting to know him a lot deeper than I thought he would be.
Yeah. And he's really, his recovery, where he's come since the 80s. Like, how can you imagine not remembering a decade of your life?
Yeah. Well, maybe not a decade.
Can you imagine not remembering 2 decades of your life?
I have pictures.
Anyway, that was really fun to talk with him. Really happy because he's one of those ones in the history books. He's made it to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's been in some great bands. He's got great solo material. And of course, Black Country Communion, which he led us to believe they're going to be touring, and they've got the live album coming out very soon.
Ooh, that's going to be awesome. Hey, our special thanks to John Freeman for coordinating the interview. Glenn's new album, Chosen, can be pre-ordered at glennhughes.com or via Amazon, or better yet, your local music store.
And Glenn, just so you know, is spelled Glenn, Hughes, Hughes. And that is also Glenn's official website. You can also go to there to get the tour dates. We'll have those on our website. Follow Glenn on social media at both Facebook and Instagram at Glenn, Glenn Hughes Online. Glenn Hughes Online.
You can check out our show notes on our website, rockandrollconfessional.rocks, ROCKS. CW does a great job putting this whole website together and doing all the podcast stuff. We appreciate him. There you can find links to some of the subjects talked about in today's show, including links to various versions of Glenn's new album, Chosen, the Cal Jam video, exclusive photos, and much more.
And please, please, please support the podcast by subscribing wherever you can. Write a review, follow, and comment on Instagram and Facebook, and also now on YouTube. All of our shows are now finally on YouTube. CW figured that one out after a few years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm still...
Get her done. You're still trying to learn how to log into YouTube.
Yeah, that's true.
Just kidding. Anyway, thank you all very much. We always appreciate you listening. Take care. We'll be back very soon.
Blessings to you all.
Bye-bye. Rock on, man.